the president of the Baptist College came in and saw me sort of sign him out. Hardly about wine a year, I think I do. Anyway. Yes, I got that one.
Great motivator.
Vitamins and mineral replacement. Where do vitamins come from? Fruits and vegetables.
Your own body.
They do come from the food that you eat. The body cannot manufacture vitamins. They have to be brought in from the outside.
Really?
The diet of today, fast foods lacks a lot of the vitamins. And we can see that on how people's body shapes have changed over the years, not only because of diet, but because of the exercise that is or is not taking place. Eating unhealthy foods and lack of exercise leads to giant couch potato, if nothing else. I never understood that. When I was growing up, it was, okay, as soon as you woke up, you made every excuse to go outside because you didn't want to stay inside and do whatever needed to be done. For today's kids, it's anything you can do inside because you don't want to go outside. But you get vitamins from food. You can also get it from stores. You probably also have seen those and all vitamin supplements based on what you do or do not get. I like the commercials now. They say if you want your kids to get vitamins and you want them to eat healthy, you should do what? Feed them Pediasure. Oh, whatever happened to spinach? Broccoli.
Yeah.
Brussels sprouts. Come on.
I don't like it. You gotta be salted.
The green. I had a good friend, who was a internal medicine physician who would tell her patients all about eating vegetables, dark green leafy vegetables, and how they're good for you. And she never ate one. She was steak and potatoes. And that's the only vegetable she got was potatoes, not the vitamins. Scientists have named 14 essential vitamins. That's changed since this slide was made, by the way. Now they're saying there's only 13 or 11. One guy came up, oh, this is a good one. Doctor came out, and I think his name is Dr. Wald, W-O-L-D. He used to be a veterinarian and decided to work on people. And he said that there were 90 different elements the body should have, and we shouldn't be worried about the essential vitamins. All that means is that we have a mindset of what needs to be done in order to make ourselves healthy. But there's two sides to every picture. You will have an argument for one side and an argument for the other side. It's really interesting when you go through research trying to figure out, for example, in vitamins, trying to figure out what's the best vitamin and so forth. We've researched 10 on one side and 10 on the other side. 10 say vitamin C is the best in the world. 10 says vitamin C should not be taken at all. But the key line in that research is the very last line before you come to the reference page. In every research, it always says more research is required before a final conclusion can be made. It's always changing. For example, they said eggs are bad for you. Don't eat eggs. Don't eat bacon because that's fat and terrible for you. And 2 years later, what did they say?
Bacon,
Greatest food in the world. You're missing out if you don't eat eggs and bacon. Some of that is scientifically motivated. Some of that is economically motivated, by the way. But that's a subject for another day. Vitamins are organic chemicals. We need them for metabolism, growth, healing. We don't have them, we won't have the above, and your body will pay the price for it. You always see RDA, or recommended daily allowance. We'll be looking at that through the different elements exactly how much you have to have in order to maintain your body's good health. We have two kinds of vitamins, fat and water soluble. What does that tell you?
Fat soluble
One is
across the blood-brain barrier?
Fat soluble is what?
Across the blood-brain barrier?
Not
it's
necessarily.
dissolving fat.
You can accumulate fat soluble vitamins.
Okay, we'll
Water
see that
dissolving.
fat soluble vitamins are stored. They stay in the body longer. Water soluble vitamins tend to come out. It doesn't mean you can take 300 gazillion, zillion, the equivalents of vitamin C and not get the effects of it. But you can, the water-soluble vitamins, you can megadose and still be all right because you generally get rid of what you don't use. Take a large multivitamin, and then by mid-morning, what are you doing? You're peeing hard. That's the extra vitamin C you're getting rid of. Fat-soluble vitamins, vitamin A. We find it in the things above. Liver. That was my mom's favorite food, liver and spinach. She liked us to have iron besides, because liver and spinach have iron in it. So every Thursday when I was growing up, we had liver and spinach day. Every Thursday. I love my mother, but she could not cook. She still can't cook. She would make liver, and she wanted to make sure it was done. So after it was finished being cooked, I never tried this out as an experiment, but I probably should have. But we figured that you could probably put the liver on the bottom of your shoe and tack it on and keep it good for 3 days. It was terrible. And then the spinach was overcooked. You'd add vinegar and eggs to it to hide the fact that it is ucky. But anyway, those are foods you can get vitamin A. What's important about vitamin A? What is the one thing that we always relate to vitamin A? Eyesight. Correct. Eyesight, night vision. We have vitamin D, fortified milk, egg yolks, tuna, salmon. Vitamin E, as you can see, is a whole grain. Vitamin K, leafy vegetables, again, liver, cheese, eggs, and so forth. So if we eat a balanced diet, we get all these vitamins, don't we? It's important as nurses that we not only understand for ourselves what we're getting as far as diet, but what are we teaching as far as keeping a person happy and healthy through diet alone. You don't have to go out and eat multivitamins all the time, even though they're on occasion they are necessary. Any of you women who have ever been pregnant know that extra vitamins are very important for the development of your fetus. Fats soluble acidic food for the metabolism very slowly, stored in fat, liver, and muscle, slowly excreted by the urine. Vitamin A can stay in you for up to 2 years. Vitamin D, A and D are toxic in excessive amounts and can cause your body to react inappropriately. We'll see that as we go along. Ingesting megadose of fat-soluble vitamins is dangerous. You are adding vitamins to your body that aren't needed, and fat are stored in that, and therefore you have an excessive amount or toxic amount of vitamins within your system just waiting to be released. We talked about this already. We need vitamins as well as a healthy diet in healing and repairing. Without it, the person does not get back into a normal state. Vitamin A. Recommend daily food allowance, that's micrograms. And the food source, as you can see there, we have more than just what was listed before. We have sweet potatoes with the peeling. a good vitamin A, source of vitamin A as well. Sweet potato with the peel means the outside. Administration, either oral or through intramuscular injection. Adverse reaction, as you can see. What is tetragenic effect? Who knows? Say it again.
Kills your fetus.
It kills your fetus. Exactly. We have leukopenia, which is what? Okay, a decrease or absence of white blood cells. The plastic anemia, the destruction of most of the components within your body, within your blood. And then hypervitaminosis, or excessive vitamin A. Excessive vitamin A leads to hair loss and peeling of skin. You can see really good, but you're bald and you're a skeleton. Aplastic anemia is you don't have most of the components within your blood. Red blood cells, white blood cells. You're missing platelets. Now these are adverse reactions. It doesn't mean you're going to eat a carrot. These things are going to happen. Okay. Vitamin D. What's the function of vitamin D?
Sun.
Oh, vitamin D makes bone grow? Oh, no.
Nope.
Okay, absorb calcium for that bone growth. I like that you said that in the whole class worked up. Oh, wait a minute. But vitamin D, I always wonder why fortify vitamin D in milk? Why don't you just get a glass of milk, go outside and drink it? Best source of vitamin C is, or vitamin D,
Sun.
is the sunlight. Ultraviolet
I
light.
don't have enough vitamin D. That's what they put. And I stay up that all the time.
If we have too much vitamin D,
Layers of skin.
we get hypercalcemia. Because vitamin D helps with the transport of calcium into the body. Therefore, you're going to have excess amount within your blood. And then we have other things which you have here: anorexia, nausea, and vomiting with pronounced megadosing. Or megadosing, and then it becomes even more pronounced with megadosing.
Question.
Answer.
If your prescription strength vitamin D is like 50,000 IU, what condition would you?
That it depends on the condition of the individual to begin with. If you have someone who has a condition like severe osteoporosis, is that we want the recapture of calcium within the blood. Because the calcium within the blood now gets transported into the bone tissue in order to help to shore it up. It doesn't fix it entirely. It helps shore it up so you don't lose it anymore. So you can megadose and still not get some of these issues because the disease process requires you to do something. That make sense? Vitamin E is an antioxidant. We never knew of antioxidants until just a few years ago. They kill off free radicals.
What was it called before then? They start
Vitamin
saying. Oh. Oh.
But kills off free radicals. Maybe that's why they didn't have it in the 60s. Anyway, the dosage is, as you see, side effects of large doses. And then drug-level interactions, you have large doses of vitamin D, it's going to prolong your prothrombin time, which means what? You're going to bleed, you're not going to be able to clot that effectively. Vitamin E is good for your skin, it's good for healing, it's whatever else you want. but you gotta be careful as far as the dosages. Vitamin K. There are 4 specific forms of vitamin K. Okay. There are different. What am I trying to say? I don't have it. It's really bad in the train of thought. Well, I'm trying to figure that one out. They do come in different forms. They come in different kinds of tablet names and so forth. I will leave it at that. I get to finish the answer on that. Function of vitamin K. Thank you. It says it right there, doesn't it? It took you that long to read down 4 lines. Oh my goodness, I'm amazed. Okay, administration is oral, parenteral, never intravenous. Never intravenous. Antidote for oral anticoagulant overdose. And deficiency in vitamin K causes spontaneous hemorrhage. Spontaneous hemorrhage, for example, you bump yourself and you get an instant bruise, or you're brushing your teeth and you're gum bleeding. That can be other signs of other diseases as well, but that's the sign, one of the signs of not enough vitamin K. So go out and eat some more green leafy vegetables and you'll be fine. Okay.
Yeah, it said parental, but not.
What is a parenteral injection? Another parenteral.
Other than IV. Okay. Get a shot.
It can be injected. It cannot be put in directly in the IV. Okay, water-soluble vitamins. They do not accumulate. And we have vitamin C and we have vitamin D complex. And as you can see, we have vitamin B1, B2, B6, and they're listed just as you see there. Any questions you see them now? I don't have anything to expound on that at all. You pretty much said it all. You know what Korsakoff syndrome is? Russian, isn't it? Where it came from, Dr. Korsakoff. It's generally caused by deficiency of this, in most cases caused by alcoholism. You have a decrease in your mentation where you can't remember old things and you have you don't have a short-term memory. And you're unable to think clearly and you make up stories because you can't remember what's ever going on. And eventually, if it as it gets worser, it not only affects the memory part of the brain, it also affects the hypothalamus and the thalamus of the brain, causing death. Vitamin C. It is not proven to restrict or to cure colds. It is not. But it don't hurt. Recommended, as you see, megadoses may cause. So even though we're getting rid of it in the body through the urine, the megadose can still cause problems because the body's having to deal with it. So it causes GI upset and diarrhea. That's usually the first signs you see with that. We have crystalluria, the form of crystals within the urine that because there's so much of this vitamin that is being filtered through the nephrons. Sickle cell crisis. What is sickle cell crisis? You can tell me that. Sickle cell is this, but sickle cell crisis. Superimmunity. What is that?
picking curve,
Very good, very good.
What do you say?
The blood cells, generally, it's the cells that are already sickled, they get caught in the capillaries. Remember the capillaries? The blood cells come through one at a time, let off oxygen and nutrients and bring on waste and keep on going through. Well, because they're sickled, what happens is they tend to clump up and then they stick together. And because we have megadose, this stuff here, which tends to cause crystals, then you have that compounded effect within them. The sickle cell crisis is extremely painful. Extremely painful. Reduce the dose gradually so that you don't have rebound. You take a megadose, you come down from that so you don't lose all your vitamin C at one time. And then you continue on with that. Deficiency of vitamin C is what you can see there. Bleeding gums, wounds, bruising, dry, rough skin, scurvy, sore joints, bones, increased infections. Vitamin C is also a very strong component in healing. Questions so far?
I heard that if you take too much of any vitamin, it has the opposite effect. Is that true?
Pretty much. The rule of thumb is anything in moderation. That's what I've always lived by. Anything in moderation. If you take too much, is that your body's going to respond, or it's going to revolt from it. And you start seeing all the different signs of vomiting, diarrhea, and all that stuff. Your body's trying to get rid of it. It doesn't need to be there. So absolutely. Sources of vitamin C. Renew citrus fruit, dark fruit, vegetables, even potatoes have vitamin C in them.
That's why he's here.
If you have a fruit salad and want extra vitamin C, just add potatoes. I heard a quote one time for tomatoes that says, knowledge is knowing that tomato is a fruit. Wisdom is knowing not to put it in a fruit salad.
Yeah.
Vitamin B complex, thiamine, riboflavin, nicotinic acid, or what's called niacin, and pyridoxine. You can see what they do up there as well as I. Wernicke's cough syndrome is caused by deficiency of thiamine. Usually caused because of deficiency of diet. And the general culprit is alcoholism. So you put all these vitamins together. We're not talking about mega amounts of these vitamins, are we? These are trace elements, or just above trace elements, that your body needs in order to operate effectively and efficiently, either to correct what's already been broken or to prevent something from breaking itself.
That's why I couldn't remember. Because it's just like laziness. Just feel tired. And in native states, the process of so you really don't have much. The symptoms are scaling, sleeping. This isn't all. See, that's why I
Probably because
scale up.
okay.
Yeah. But you can't really tell. Yeah. They used to call them, I believe it's a British Navy, they used to call them Marines because they would carry one around. They would kind of prevent scurvy, but they thought they were
Source of the vitamin B, as you can see up there. Pork, grain, grain products, peas, peanut butter,
after that.
whole grains and cereal. Underline. Wonder what that means. Liver, kidneys, etc., etc. Found only in animal foods, eggs, milk products, not byproducts. Oysters, shellfish. So So if you are a strict vegetarian, you have to eat a fair amount of this in order to accomplish what you can eat by eating a moderate amount of this. But that's, and then supplemental vitamins. I got good friends who are strict vegan. Even smell hamburger, they get nauseated. Okay.
On vitamin K, it talks about the dark green leafy vegetables. And if you take too much vitamin K, then that would
Right.
be bad for you.
That would be bad for you.
Can you have too much?
Yes, you can. You'd have to eat about 1.5 bushels of dark green leafy vegetables at one meal in order to do that. Hopefully you don't do that.
No, I was just saying, like
Okay.
vegetarians, you know, they've been eating that all the
Yeah.
time. They have a problem with being.
No, because it's processed instead of being eaten. It's processed and then utilized. So you don't eat a whole bunch on Monday and then Tuesday and Wednesday into the stores and wait to be activated. It's activated as
I thought that was about.
fiber contact, what you don't do.
What's your egg yolk been about?
Pardon?
They call it limeys.
Egg yolk and other things that are made by intestinal bacteria. Yogurt, for example, made by or with intestinal bacteria. Yogurt's made with goat stomach stuff. Is that exciting? Goat.
It's called limeys. I don't even know it's called limeys.
We have folic acid, or folate. What's the function of that?
Babies. Hey, I know it.
Okay, you guys are right on it. Thank you very much. I knew you could do it. Needs folate to synthesize DNA, repair DNA, and so forth. Cofactor in biological reactions involving folate and rapid cell division and growth. Very important in pregnancy, as you can see there. If you look at on your prenatal vitamins, that is listed. The dosage is fairly significant. Deficiencies cause neural tube development, or I shouldn't say development, that's developing fetal. Deficiencies will ultimately cause it not to develop appropriately, because the neural tube is the fastest growing thing when the baby is being formed. The neural tube comes first and forms the quickest in order to create that brain and so on and so forth. That's the reward. What's the recommended daily allowance for this? For folate?
I don't need it. 300 micrograms.
300 micrograms. That's what the book says. We'll go with that.
He said that with him. It's right here. 300. Depends on the year.
So, but
I mean,
pregnancy,
yeah,
we have a
age.
different system here. As I mentioned in the back, toward the back of the room, that pregnancy,
So you gave that a teenager though.
prenatal vitamins. True.
301.
That's for teenagers.
9 to 13.
That was for age 9 to 13.
And then 400 for older.
What page is that on?
It's the chart on 218.
Okay, 218. There you got your reference.
Yeah, that's true.
There's a fun chart with the breakdown.
We're using page 218 test for
No. No. There's not on the slide. I'm going to ask you how much.
Good.
B12.
Pregnancy.